evening and welcome to Up South for all the top news stories from the south of the Vindhyas with me, T.S. Sudhir. Now, a day after the Supreme Court came down heavily on the appointment of the Special Public Prosecutor Bhavani Singh, terming it bad in law, the Karnataka government today appointed B.V. Acharya as the new Special Public Prosecutor in the Jayalalithaa disproportionate assets case. Now, this makes the last lap of the particular case in the Karnataka High Court extremely interesting because B.V. Acharya was also the Special Public Prosecutor earlier in the trial court, and he was forced to resign reportedly because of political pressure mounted on him. B.V. Acharya had recounted the pressures that he faced in his memoirs. Joining me now from Bengaluru is my colleague Rohini Swamy, who has with him B.V. Acharya. Rohini, now what is likely to be B.V. Acharya's role given the fact that the trial is almost over and only the verdict is to be given by the Karnataka High Court?
Well, Senior Counsel and the former AG of Karnataka, Mr. B.V. Acharya, is back on the Jayalalithaa disproportionate assets case. Sir, what will be your role as a Special Public Prosecutor now that the Supreme Court has said that the High Court has to deliver the verdict?
See, as at present, my role is very limited because the Supreme Court delivered the judgment yesterday and said that the state of Karnataka should file written submission before the High Court before 28th, that is giving us just 1 day's time. So today I am appointed as a Special Public Prosecutor because the government stated that no one else will be able to do the needful within such a short time of 1 day. So I agreed, and within 1 day, by today evening, I have submitted my written arguments before the High Court as directed by the Supreme Court.
That is true. Nobody else understands the case as well as you do, but also the Supreme Court has said that the appointment of Mr. Bhavani Singh and the arguments also have been struck down. What are your comments on this?
No, there is no comment I could make. The Supreme Court has categorically stated that Mr. Bhavani Singh could not have acted as public prosecutor and he is not validly appointed. And it has made a specific observation that the High Court should eschew from consideration the written submissions made by Sri Bhavani Singh. The result is that whatever submissions have been made by him should not be taken into consideration by the High Court.
But sir, when the case was in the lower court, you also had to resign under political pressure. What made you take up the case again?
As I told you, the role is very limited. The state felt that I alone could prepare, even briefly, written submissions and file it on behalf of the state. And therefore I agreed to do so because, as I said in the beginning, my role is limited, filing of written submissions, and that I have done.
But what do you see in terms of the prospects of the case, sir?
No, that I will not say. We never venture saying about the result of the case. We do our duty and leave it. It is for the judge to decide.
So when do we expect the judgment, sir?
Even that I can't say because the Supreme Court, I am told, has put a time limit before 12th of May. It is possible that the judge will pronounce judgment before that date, and there are many cases where if a judge is unable to do it within the time prescribed by the higher court, they write back to the court requesting for extension of time. What will happen in this case, I can't say.
So my last question to you, the Supreme Court had observed and made it a point saying that corruption is a major offence. Was that also made in view of this particular case?
I don't know. The Supreme Court in many cases, whenever it feels that this malady of corruption has to be put down, they have used some strong language and have given some directions so as to see that justice is done in all such cases.
Well, there you go. Justice has to be delivered, and as of now, you can see that Mr. Acharya also says that his role is limited, but well, the verdict will be delivered when it has to be.
Right, Rohini Swami, thanks a lot for bringing that exclusive interview of B.V. Acharya here on Up South on Headlines today. Shisha, you heard what Mr. B.V. Acharya had to say. He's saying that his role is very limited, but is his appointment being viewed with anxiety in the AIDMK camp?
Well, Sudhir, as far as the AIDMK camp is concerned, they do know that the trial is over, and now that he has a very limited role to play, this might not actually alter the appeal or the judgment, in fact, of this disappropriate assets case. But on the other hand, of course, one section of the AIDMK is, of course, rattled with the developments that have been taking place, and of course, the appointment that was struck down by the Supreme Court as far as the Bhavani Singh is concerned. So, of course, they've been waiting with bated breath to know what exactly is going to happen, which might likely be, come to light before 12th of May.
Right. Let's also get in a word from C. Raj Shaker, a pro-Jayalalithaa lawyer. Mr. Raj Shaker, the feeling now is that over the last 48 hours, the AIDMK has enough reasons actually because of which it finds itself on the back foot. Do you agree with that assessment?
See, this is the order of the Honorable Supreme Court of 3-judge bench, and it has nothing to do with the setback or being very happy on this judgment. It is just an order saying the DMK petitioner should go before the Karnataka High Court and file a written statement. There ends the matter. The outcome of the Karnataka High Court appeal is the point, is the case overall. We have to wait for it and hope things come out positively, and all the people of Tamil Nadu are waiting for the favorable judgment for Madam Dr. Jayalalithaa.
Right, Mr. Raj Shaker, thanks a lot for joining us there from Chennai. Shisha, stay on with us because a side drama is also playing out in Tamil Nadu. In fact, DMDK leader Vijaykanth led a delegation of all opposition parties to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The idea is really to project an anti-AIDMK front. But later on at the press conference in Delhi, he directed his ire at a Jaya TV reporter. And this is what really happened at the press conference. Let's listen in.
சார் ஜெயாட்டி கேள்வி நீங்க கேக்குற உரிமை இருக்குமா எனக்கு பதில் சொல்லணுங்கிற உரிமை இல்ல ஏங்க நீங்க பேசுறீங்க மத்தவங்க டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ணணும்னா கமெண்ட் இருக்க தூக்கி அடிச்சிரும் பாத்து சும்மா உனக்கு தான் பேசுறது சும்மா அவன ஜாட்டியில என்ன கொம்பா மலைச்சிருக்காரு இல்ல இதனால எல்லா பிரச்சனையும் கேட்டதுங்கிற அவர் தெரியல அவர் இதேதான் ஒவ்வொரு தடவை போன தடவை நான் மரியாதை கொடுத்தா போன தடவை பிரஸ் கூட்டாங்கன்னு அப்படி பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் சுற்றி வந்தேன்.
Right. Srisha, now this man Vijaykanth is a very popular hero. Now for the benefit of our viewers who do not quite understand and follow Tamil Nadu Tamil films, given the fact that he's also acted in many films, explain, is this the way Vijaykanth always behaves in public? Because I do remember that he has even beaten up one of his candidates in public view.
Well, exactly, Sudhir, because this kind of drama unfolds most of the time in Tamil Nadu, especially, during the assembly sessions, and whenever he comes out of the assembly or walks out of the assembly, on a particular issue, and when the media people ask him a question, of course, he gets worked up, and this is the way he reacts, and even during the campaigns for the matter, and this is not the first time that this has happened in Delhi, and even before one of the elections, when he was there, a reporter had asked him a question, this is how he reacted, and also quite recently, in the airport, when the JRTV reporter was asking him a question like what he had reacted yesterday during this press conference, it was a similar way, and even his party cadres were about to beat that reporter up. So yes, this kind of incidents have been happening for a quite long time, and Vijaykanth is a kind of a person that who will just react on the spot. And having said that, one incident has happened with Headlines today. In fact, when we were trying to get in a bite from Mr. Vijaykanth during the grand alliance that was portrayed like last time during the parliamentary elections, and the way he reacted is what it is reflected in Delhi yesterday.
Right. Absolutely. Shisha Reddy, thanks a lot for joining us. Also a reflection of how polarized the entire television news scene there in Tamil Nadu is. Thanks a lot for joining us there on Up South. Now, a full-blown war of words has broken out between Asaduddin Owaisi, who is the Hyderabad MP and also the MIM president, and the Karnataka Congress, with the Owaisi blaming and accusing the Karnataka Congress of feeling insecure, which is why they are blocking the entry of the MIM leader into Bengaluru to address a public meeting. Owaisi claims that he has addressed several public meetings in Maharashtra without any violence or any breakdown of law and order, and sees no reason why Uttar Pradesh and Bengaluru in this case should actually block his entry.
Definitely, they are going to lose more ground, and I am going to raise issues which they will feel very uncomfortable. So I challenge them, you allow me to come, and if I cross the line, arrest me. I am willing to go to prison. I am a president of a party. As a member of parliament, I can speak in the biggest panchayat of our land. No one can stop me in the Indian parliament. But in Bengaluru and in Uttar Pradesh, no, you cannot speak, but you can speak in parliament. So what kind of message they are sending? It is for the people to decide, and I am sure the people have already come to an opinion that because of my presence, they are feeling uncomfortable, vulnerable, and they must feel uncomfortable.
See, I think even the High Court has upheld this decision of the Karnataka police, and it's not just against Mr. Owaisi, it's also been done against Mr. Togadia. Whoever has gone and inflamed people and spoken against communities and created a lot of rift between communities. Karnataka government has been very clear about this issue. There is no question of allowing communal elements to come and play havoc with our communities here. So that's the reason why we have taken this decision. Now, regarding speaking in parliament, even in parliament also he's got a lot of restrictions. He can't speak whatever he wants in parliament also.
Welcome back. You're with Up South. Now, tomorrow is the grand Thrissur Pooram festival, the annual temple festival at the Vadakanathan temple in Thrissur, which is a grand spectacle of fireworks, temple elephants and a lot of music. But this year, PETA India patron and Hollywood actress Pamela Anderson has written to Kerala Chief Minister Chandy to leave elephants out of the Thrissur Pooram. In her letter, she has extended her support to pay for 30 life-sized bamboo and paper-mache elephants to replace the live elephants at the Thrissur Pooram. But the Kerala Chief Minister is not on the same page as Pamela Anderson and said that they are conforming to all rules and no cruelty is being done to any of the elephants. Joining me now from Bengaluru is Mr. Surender Verma of the Asian Elephant Research and Conservation Program. Mr. Verma, thanks a lot for joining us on Up South. Now, Pamela Anderson, who is the PETA India patron, has offered bamboo elephants instead of the live elephants. Now, given that these elephants have been showstoppers at the Thrissur Pooram for many years now, and it's also a calendar event for Kerala tourism, how feasible is this offer?
So you could also have the inflates of elephant design, but maybe too late to actually do it. But as a culturally, that having an elephant in, or biologically keeping elephant in temple itself or source is not a very good idea. Like maybe, I'm not sure how that will work, a short period, but we need to see it what are the plans they are having for that.
Now, Kerala Chief Minister Chandy said that there is a difference between cruelty and using them as temple elephants. Now, would you say that that's the right assessment?
Well, not really. Probably because we need to understand what is cruelty. Cruelty can be defined as a non-visible, visible. Like if you don't give proper food and water regime is not taken care and the shade is not properly arranged. Now, all this could be also considered as cruelty. So, but how much we know, like what kind of food regime one animal going through, and like what is the water supply, how free from contamination, and the crowd and a lot of things. Non-visible cruelty also would actually matters a lot. So that is very important to be considered.
Now, Mr. Verma, elephants are used for many cultural programs in India, especially in Kerala. As someone who deals with elephant conservation, do you think and do you suggest that we should do away with such practices?
Definitely not, because like if you consider the elephant as part of the culture, that we need to understand what are their biological needs, and we need to also ask whether these biological needs will meet the culture. Like if you just look at consider elephant is a species which live in groups, which is very important. They live as a group and group of related individual. Can we provide that opportunity in a culturally related programs? The elephant has to eat variety of food, maybe 80 to 100 species of food. Can they be provided? Will they be provided in the culturally dominated festivals? Then elephant has to drink water of 100 to 150 liters of water, which is free flowing, free from contamination. Is that possible to provide? So now, I think we need to ask these questions. If those questions are answered through the cultural event, I think we should permit. But practically, I'm not sure whether it's possible. All these ecological needs could be met within a cultural regime. But definitely, I would not feel that the biological needs would be met. So there will be definitely a conflict. But if you are worried about welfare of animal, I think we should just come forward to say the biological needs are more important than the cultural needs.
Right. Mr. Surender Verma, thanks a lot for joining us with that perspective from Bengaluru. Now, the Telangana agitation was fronted to a large extent by the student community, but after the formation of Telangana state, it seems that this student community and the entire education system seems to be neglected by the new Telangana government here in the state. None of the 10 universities in the new state have a vice chancellor, and that includes the prestigious Usmania University, whose pictures that you're seeing on screen. Most of the vice chancellors have either resigned or their term has ended in the last 10 months, with the government making no move to advise the governor on the new appointments.
सर ये देखिए हमारा क्या कसूर है, पूरा गवर्नर साहब को पावर्स दिए हुए वाइस चांसलर ने। हमारी नई स्टेट बनी है साहब, अगर हम थोड़े दिन गुजर जाएंगे।
If president is or VC is not there, then departments, heads are HODs, all the teachers or professors will go in a negligent manner. Definitely there is a lack of awareness and decrease in studies and academics.
Right, that's it then on Up South this Tuesday evening. News and updates will continue on Headlines Today.